Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to the YSA Earth Echo World Water Monitoring Challenge on GYSD this year webinar. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us today. As a reminder, at the end of the webinar, everyone who's registered will upload the webinar to YouTube. We'll get it out to everyone and feel free to share it with your network after today. My name is Chris Wagner. I work with Youth Service America, and before we get started, I wanted you to look at your panel there, your GoToWebinar panel, and I just want to key you into a couple of items there. First of all, there's a chat box. If you want to ask a question to myself or Sarah, you can just type in your question there, and then at the end of the webinar today, we'll get to all the questions. Also, there's a handout box there, and if you click on that handout box, you can download the World Water Monitoring Challenge toolkit that Sarah's going to talk about also. So feel free to download that at any time today. Otherwise, I think everything's fairly self-explanatory. After today, feel free to send us, me or Sarah, any emails, questions you have. We're happy to follow up with you. And we're going to get started. So my name's Chris Wagner, Director of Partnerships at YSA. I'm also a returned Peace Corps volunteer. I did AmeriCorps, also a VISTA leader in New Mexico for a period of time. So I've been working in youth service nonprofit for a number of years now. And again, at the end of the day, you can email me at cwagner@ysa.org. And Sarah, I'll let you introduce yourself. Hi, Sarah, can you hear us?
Oh, sorry about that. I thought I had unmuted and I was talking away.
No worries.
I apologize. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Again, my name is Sarah Pawinski, and I am the World Water Monitoring Challenge Manager for Earth Echo International. I have about 13 years experience working in the nonprofit sector, and have spent a little over a year of that working here with Earth Echo International. And as Chris said at the end of the presentation today, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me. And my email address is just sarah@earthecho.org.
All right. So the big idea for everyone today is we have Global Youth Service Day coming up in April 15th to the 17th, and a great idea, one of the example projects we want to focus on today is the World Water Monitoring Challenge. So that's the big idea. We're going to do a couple things. I'm just going to quickly introduce you to Youth Service America, Global Youth Service Day, and then Sarah will talk about the World Water Monitoring Challenge, and then again we'll answer questions at the end. So Youth Service America, we believe in youth changing the world. We work with partners all around the world to help young people find their voice, take action, and make an impact on vital community issues. Again, the big idea about Youth Service America is that young people, they are involved in their community. They know what's going on. If young people are engaged and asked to find an issue they care about and to develop a project, and they're supported and empowered to do that, they do it. And the benefits that come from that, including leadership skills, lifetime of interest in being and continuing to do service in the community, come from that. So that's the big idea. Anything that Youth Service America can do to support organizations that are working with youth in leadership roles like this, we want to be your partner. So we support our mission 4 different ways. The first is through globalization campaigns. And so Global Youth Service Day is the day of service that Youth Service America sponsors. The second way we support our missions through grants. So throughout the year, Youth Service America has different youth grants and organization and teacher grants available that all center around this idea of youth-led service. We also have resources and trainings available when you go to the YSA website, which is ysa.org. We just created what we're calling the Learning Center, and you can download any of our resources. You can take trainings. Most, if not all of it's free. If you want a print copy of resources, we charge you for that. But all of our resources we have as PDF downloads too. So, definitely, again, all of our resources and trainings, again, center around this idea of youth-led service. And then the fourth way is awards and recognition. So, a big piece of our mission is that communities recognize what youth do year-round, not only what they do on Global Youth Service Day, but we are also advocates for communities, city governments, states, countries engaging youth to help solve real-world challenges, such as a challenge that is so important, such as protecting our water resources. And so, again, that's definitely why we're here today, is we think this is an excellent idea and project to do for Global Youth Service Day. So Global Youth Service Day this year will be April 15th through the 17th. GYSD was established in 1988. It's the largest service event in the world. It's celebrated each year in more than 125 countries. Again, we work with partners including organizations like Earth Echo International, Peace Corps, NGOs, schools, adult mentors, teachers. These are all the different types of stakeholders we work with in support of Global Youth Service Day. And then again, during Global Youth Service Day, community service projects are being organized and implemented. There's also youth recognition events going on, and celebration events and demonstration events. I encourage you all to go to ysa.org to see some of these other examples of types of programs you can do too. And a couple other things. So I get asked this question all the time. Global Youth Service Day project can be 3 people. It can be 3 young people. It can be 25 young people. It can be part of your organization's normal programming. It can be a kickoff event, so such as a World Monitor Challenge where you're testing the water, and then maybe later you're going to take that data and you're going to share it in the community with some different types of events after Global Youth Service Day. Or it can be the end of a project. So maybe you started a project on MLK Day and you want to do the last piece of it on Global Youth Service Day. The whole point is that whatever you're doing and the youth you're working with is that they're cognizant that they're connected to a network of young people all over the world also working to improve their community. So we make this idea of community youth-led service more of a norm than something that's not really thought of. And so again, with Global Youth Service Day, we don't put any restraints on you in terms of the size, scope, or issue that you're working on. Last year with Global Youth Service Day, we had over 6,000 projects. We had projects in about 114 countries, about 403,000 volunteers. So again, we're hoping to get to over 7,000 projects this year. We'd like to hit that 125 country mark, which we've done in the past. And, we need your help to do it. So I'm going to turn it back over to Sarah, and she's going to be able to talk to you about the World Water Monitoring Challenge.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Chris. And again, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. So I work with Earth Echo International. We're a nonprofit whose mission is to inspire young people worldwide to act now for a sustainable future. And the program that we're going to talk with you about today that fits really well with the Global Youth Service Day project is the World Water Monitoring Challenge. This program has been around for a number of years, but we, as an organization, just took over the coordination role of this program in the last 2 years. If you want to go to the next slide, Chris. So the World Water Monitoring Challenge is a program that builds public awareness and involvement in protecting water resources around the world by engaging citizens to conduct basic monitoring of their local water bodies. So this is a program that monitors the health of an ecosystem or health of water bodies. It's not for measuring tap water or water that's coming out of your drinking fountain. It's for looking at the health of a surface water source, whether it's a lake, a stream, a river, a pond, something of that nature. And really this program is very easy. It's an easy entry point into understanding why it's important to protect water we depend on every day for our daily needs, and to introduce people in your community or a group of youth that you're working with to the idea of why it's important to protect this resource, since water on our planet is a limited resource. So how does it work? We'll go through the steps that are engaged or that are involved in this program, and again at the end answer any questions that you may have. The link that is on this slide here is to a toolkit that is attached to this presentation, but it can also be found on our home page that gives you more in-depth sort of step-by-step instructions and checklists about how to plan and participate in a monitoring event. Next slide. So when we talk about how to participate in the World Water Monitoring Challenge, it's very easy. We talk about it in 3 easy steps. Step 1 being test, step 2 being share, and step 3 being protect. And so throughout the presentation today, we're going to walk through how you move through this program in these 3 easy steps. So step 1 being conducting a monitoring event, step 2 being telling everybody about what the findings are in the project that you did through our web portal, and then the 3rd step being protect is that you're really having the opportunity to understand the results that you've gotten and take some action in your community. Next slide. So conducting a monitoring event, the very first thing you need to do is get a WWMC, which is the shortened version of World Water Monitoring Challenge, since that can be a mouthful. Get your World Water Monitoring Challenge kit. This is the link through our monitorwater.org website to be able to purchase a test kit. The test kit includes equipment to be able to sample 4 basic water quality parameters. Those parameters include temperature, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, which is how clear or how cloudy the water is, as well as pH. These are very cost-effective, easy-to-use test kits. The picture that you see here is our basic test kit, which comes with 1 set of hardware to be able to do all of your sampling and enough reagents to be able to sample 50 times. So this is something that you could do throughout the year as a group or in numerous locations. And then we also have a classroom kit that you can purchase that comes with 5 sets of hardware and enough reagents to be able to do 50 tests. So there are 2 different types of kits that you can purchase depending on the size of the group. And again, if you have any questions about what kit would work best for the size of your group, feel free to reach out to us. The other thing I wanted to mention is that this is all a non-toxic test kit, so you don't have to worry about the use of heavy chemicals that you have to dispose of after you're done. It's all colorimetric analysis and something that you can collect all of your the samples that you have run in a separate container and either flush those down the toilet or go down the drain. They're all very easy to dispose of, and again, making it so that this is something that can be an ease of access program for people of all ages and in all different regions. Let's go to the next slide. So once you've purchased your test kit or obtained your test kit, when you, again, on our website, there's a link on this slide that goes to a more in-depth toolkit that gives you step-by-step instructions and things to think of in the planning and day of phase. But we really say that during step 1, when you're conducting a monitoring event, there's four different things that you're going to do. You're going to divide your participants into groups. You're going to actually take your samples, record your results, and then report your findings into our web portal. In getting into groups, we recommend you have your youth in groups of about 5 to 10, no more than 10, just because that way everybody has the opportunity to really participate in a component of the project, whether it's that they're taking the water sample, running one of the analyses, recording your data. So everybody has a chance to really engage and interact in the sampling opportunity. In testing your samples, again, each kit comes with these 4 basic parameters. So once you collect your sample water, you will run those 4 basic parameters and record your results either in the data sheet that's provided in the instruction manual, or you can download a separate data sheet from our website, or you can download our mobile app or go directly through your mobile device into our web portal to enter your data directly. And we'll talk more about that here in the next couple of slides. One thing I did want to talk about on this slide is that It works best to actually go to a location, whether it's a river, a lake, a stream, a pond, to do the sampling versus bringing your water into a classroom or into a building and running your samples that way. That way, your youth have the opportunity to engage with the surroundings as well as look at different make observations about what's happening around them so that they can attribute that to any of the impacts on their results. Okay, we can go to the next slide. So once you've taken all of your measurements and recorded your data, now is the time that you want to tell us about what it is that you've done. So step one or step two in the telling us is to report your data. And as I mentioned earlier, you can download a mobile app or go through any web browser and enter your data into our web portal. The steps on this are very easy. We don't send you a bunch of emails once you register yourself. This is a way for you to enter our database and enter your information into the web portal where numerous countries are participating in this program, and your data becomes part of that large international data set. So you need to register yourself. You will register your site, meaning the location in which you have sampled your water. So similar to a Google map, you'll drop a pin on our map to be able to say this is where you've collected your water from. And then you'll report your findings and the data that you have, the data from your 4 parameters. We can go to the next slide. The other thing is we want you to tell us about what it is that you've done. So not only have you entered your data into our web portal, you can attach pictures through that web portal, but we also would love for you to share with us through social media as well as our website where you can tell us about the different activities that you have done. These are just a couple of suggested social media posts that you could use in sharing with the world about what it is that you've done. And again, you can also attach pictures through our web portal as well as share through our website a story about what it is that you have done. And that's where we really get the idea of how many people around the world are participating in this program. And it's great to see all of the different interaction with the youth around the world that are taking ownership of the water in their communities. Which leads us to the final step, so we'll go on to the final slide. Step 3 is the take action piece. And this, to me, is really the most important piece in the puzzle. Now that you've tested your water, it's important for you to understand what those results mean, and it's the opportunity for you to look at what those results mean for the health of the water resources in your community, and what it might be that you could continue to do to help to impact anything that you found that maybe is not a parameter within the appropriate range. For example, if you found that your region has consistently high turbidity, maybe there's runoff that's happening along a riverbank, and then it leads you to additional action that your group could take about trying to impact and improve that local water resource. So this is the step where you've now gone out, you've sampled your water, you've looked at some basic findings. Now you need to understand what the impact is on that region and determine what additional action needs to occur. Maybe everything is great and it's just something that you can go out in the future and monitor again to make sure everything is great. But there are also opportunities where you can continue to take action in your community and build upon this opportunity with additional projects. So again, linked on here is the link to our website for that toolkit. In the toolkit, we provide some additional resources about suggestions of actions that you might take, as well as on our website, we have some resources about different projects that you can take depending on what you have found to be your parameters for the site that you have sampled. And the next slide is just contact information. I had my personal email on the first slide. It's just sarah@earthecho.org. You can also reach us at wwmc@earthecho.org, or the phone number is listed here. Again, please feel free to reach out should you have any questions about how to, the nitty-gritty of how to really plan and run an event. This was a general overview, but again, the kit is very cost-effective, easy to use, takes a little bit of pre-planning, but something that you can do with youth of all ages.
Very cool. Thanks, Sarah. The one thing I didn't realize was how many times they can test with the test kit. So this is something you could use, it sounds like, throughout the year.
It is, yeah. There's each kit comes with enough reagents that you can do it numerous times, or you can do it at numerous locations. One test kit will go a long way. And the other thing I wanted to mention is if it's something that you want to do numerous times, once you've purchased a test kit, you don't ever have to purchase a whole test kit again. You can just replenish those reagents that you'll run out of. All those individual pieces are available for purchase on the website as well.
Very cool. Very cool. So these last couple of slides, I wanted to talk a little bit about Global Youth Service Day and how to some of the things we talk about and how to build up a project. So one of the ideas is just simply, you would do this type of test on Global Youth Service Day. And that would be part of, a larger project. And so I just want to throw out some other examples of what you can build on based on, what we've learned at YSA, looking at different examples of projects. So that we think about it in this way of ASAP. There are awareness projects, service projects, advocacy projects, and philanthropy projects. So combined with testing the water, you could run an awareness campaign about either the results of your test, and so that could be some type of, again, awareness campaign around what happened on that day. Could also do a type of service project, so you do the testing and then part of the other project could be some type of service, and like going out and cleaning the debris around a water source that you tested. So the idea, again, of doing a test and then adding some type of service component to it. Advocacy, which is super important in issues like this. So if you do find out, you test the water, there's runoff from some place that's polluting the stream, then at that point you may want to advocate to your local city council or state government based on your results, what you've learned, in order to change a law or regulation. And then philanthropy. You may simply want to do a big event where you're testing the water and you're then raising money for a local nonprofit that works on clean water issues in your community. And then the last slide, these are just some pieces that we've seen over the years that you can, again, add to your project. Is you can organize a petition around clean water. During your event, if you're an NGO or a nonprofit, you want to make sure you're bringing materials to share with people who come to your event about your organization. You're also wanting to recruit other volunteers that may come to your event to your organization. And then one other thing is definitely think about if you're going to do a project and you're going to have people come out to the project, invite an elected official. Or engage elected officials to spread the word about your project. If there's a local community VIP that you'd like to come speak at your project, invite that person to come. Be thinking about how you can build up your project and bring as much visibility as you can, which always improves the impact. And the last thing I wanted to say is definitely register everything on the World Water Monitor Challenge. If you do decide to do this for Global Youth Service Day, if you don't mind, go to YSA.org, and then you can go to GYSD.org, and you can also register your project there. And so we invite you to do that also. And Sarah, you guys, if you have any questions in the question box, go ahead and type in your question now. But Sarah, we've got a really good question here from Mary. I don't know if you can see it. I can read it out loud if you'd like.
Yeah, if you can read it out loud, I don't think I do see it.
That's cool. Could we address internal waters at all, given the Flint situation? And could you recommend sites or similar resources for adults to support similar visibility, perhaps connecting to Google Earth?
So the issue in Flint is something you'd want to test for. You could use our kit in sampling like the Flint River or something of that nature. But the testing for lead out of your tap, there are other kits that are available that you can purchase. Lamont Company, who is the distributor of our kit, would have some great resources for other kits that you could use to sample for tap water. Measuring for lead is something in tap water that is becoming a very big issue, not just because of Flint. There's a number of other locations, and there are some resources that we have included on our social media in recent posts that you can use for looking for other organizations that are doing similar work. So I can reshare that information with you if you'd like.
Great. And like I said, after today, we will upload this webinar to YouTube, and I'll send everyone who registered for this webinar an email with the link, and I'll be sure to share my contact information and Sarah's too, so you can get in contact with us after today. Okay, I don't see any other questions, Sarah, so I think we're okay on that end. Again, we want to thank everybody for coming out. And after today, again, you're going to get an email from us. And so, again, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you after today.